Today we are aware of the damaging environmental effects of the irresponsible use of plastic, and we are only now learning that plastic should only ever be used when an alternative is not available. At the latest edition of the Maker Faire in Rome, we spoke to inventors to see how plastic can be used responsibly to make our lives better, and to see if anything can be done about the 6.3 billion metric tons of plastic waste in the world.
Plastic is not the only product that we have at our disposal. There are many different materials that we can use. Camilla spoke to a producer of hemp, which is surprisingly versatile and can even be used as a plastic substitute.
If it's so fertile, why is not a bigger part of the ecological industry?
Because it was banned for a long period of time, so until 1997 in Europe we're not allowed to grow it. So now the industry is starting to grow again, and we need to do a lot of technological advancement to get better at it. And also there's a lot of competition from the traditional products, because we can make bioplastics, for example, which this is some 3D printed bioplastic objects that can be made with maize, amides, and then part of hemp.
It is a positive development that different resources such as hemp-based bioplastic are being used to make alternatives to plastic. This is good news for the future. However, the present situation needs immediate action. Our oceans are polluted with between 5 and 12 billion tons of plastic a year, so we found out about one method which can help address this serious problem.
How can this machine clean the sea?
Okay, we have two units. One it's an aerial vehicle and a surface vehicle. The aerial vehicle is able to identify the plastic floating on the sea, and then it generates a coordinate that is sent to the marine robot that in automatic way can go in this waypoint to collect the plastic.
A buildup of waste, and not just plastic waste, is a genuine threat to the planet. A concept that reuses waste products and reduces plastic usage would be a welcome idea. Tommy spoke to a man at the forefront of a campaign to make this a reality.
What is a bio-based product?
A bio-based product is a product that is made with biomasses rather than fossil fuel, for instance. So rather than using oil to produce plastic, we can use biomasses to produce plastic. And it's even better if we use biomasses which are residual, they're coming from waste, for example food waste. If you have leftover after eating, then that's food waste. We can take the leftover of your eating and then we can use it to make bioplastic.
Despite the damage that plastic has done to our environment in the last century, we mustn't lose sight of its usefulness. When used responsibly and for the right reasons, plastic can be used to make the world better.
What's the aim of this project?
To study the gyroscope, the Arduino component for the future use of this project. For example, a person who can't use legs and hands can use this gyroscope on the head. He can move a motor like a car.
The inventors at Maker Faire are working hard on our behalf, but we too have a duty to educate ourselves and others on the seriousness of plastic usage reduction. We spoke to a scientist to find out more.
What makes plastic so damaging to the environment?
Well, the reason why plastic is so damaging to the environment is because it's not biodegradable, which means it takes a really long time for plastic to degrade. It takes roughly 1,000 years. The reason why that's so important is because in an ecosystem, plants and all sorts of animals rely on each other. And so this can affect things as diverse as biodiversity and the relationships between different parts of the animal kingdom.
Have we reached the point of no return?
Well, I'm always hopeful. So I think giving up never helps. Even if we had reached that point, it wouldn't help to sort of give up. So I think we haven't. I think research shows that if we act now, there's still time to save the planet.
At Acorn House, a plastic reduction campaign has been put into place to educate our pupils on the ways in which we can work together to lessen our dependence on plastic. Let us spoke to Mr. Gale.
Mr. Gale, as head of the plastic reduction campaign at Acorn House, can you report any real improvement in plastic usage within the school?
Yes, I can, actually. We took the initiative to March earlier this year, and we have assessed the school where its plastic use was, and we've improved it over the summer and at the beginning of this year. We've taken away single-use plastics, such as the plastic cups for coffees and teas and water and things. We've got rid of all plastic from the cafeteria as well, which is a major improvement. We're also trying to reduce it in the classroom as much as possible, with such as stationery and things like that. And we've made some major improvements since the beginning of the year.
Education about the environment cannot start early enough. So the plastic reduction campaign, spearheaded by Mr. Gale, is also in effect in the primary school. This is an issue which will rely on a continued effort by the future generations, so it is important to educate them early.
What can our newest generation learn from the ones that went before them?
I think they need to understand that plastic is important and that we can use it in many ways which can help us, but they also need to understand how to recycle it, not to throw it away, to pick up something if they see it on the floor.
Can you remember about the bird that we saw? What did it have?